Hey, it's Kevin Lawton with the New Warehouse Podcast here at MODEX 2022. I am in the booth doing podcast live here, and I am joined by Paul Short. Paul is the president of North America for Combilift, and we're going to talk about Combilift and what their product offering is. They're kind of a niche in the forklift space. They have some unique solutions, definitely, and we're going to learn more about those. So, Paul, welcome to the booth. Welcome to the show. How are you making out in MODEX this week?
Yeah, thanks for having us, Kevin. Yeah, it's been a really good start to MODEX. Yesterday was very busy, and this morning has been, again, phenomenal. It's great to see people out and meeting people. We're meeting a lot of customers that we've seen face to face for a couple of years, and a lot of energy, and everyone's very excited to be here from what I can see.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty incredible to see the turnout. I think there were some questions still of, will the turnout be, what we've expected in the past pre-COVID, and obviously it's panned out. I heard yesterday there was a big rush, like getting in the door. It took a long time. So
yeah, there was a bit of a stampede. I think yesterday morning, maybe a printer shut down or something that exacerbated it. But it was good. There was a big influx. Yes, we were surprised with the footfall yesterday, and today has been great. Lots of good conversations, and the market is buoyant. There's people in buying mode, and they're really here to meet people, but see all the new technologies and what there is on offer for their businesses.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely, and that's a good thing, obviously, for a company, especially like yourself, right? People ready to buy. So tell us a little bit about Combilift and what it is that you do.
Yeah, Combilift is a manufacturer from Ireland. We manufacture. Another global leader in manufacturing side loaders, multi-directional lifts for handling long loads, and then also in articulated forklifts. So for working in very narrow aisles as small as 6 foot 72 inches. Yeah. So they're our primary markets, and then we make a range of pedestrian units where we've got a patented tiller arm that removes the operator from any danger of the crush zone that may be at the back of it. So that's something that we're rolling out over the last number of years, and it's really been growing for us here in the US. In manufacturing, in the forklift-less factory, for example, where they don't want ride-on machines in pedestrian areas, we're finding a lot of customers moving towards our pedestrian units as well for that safety factor.
All right, very interesting. And obviously, I think some of your applications are a little more unique than you see from some of the other forklift manufacturers. So talk to us a little bit about how that focus on these more unique applications kind of help out customers for specific applications.
Yeah, so we're always working with the customer to find the solution for them. So customers coming to us with problems is always great. We can find a solution, but the other thing that we're always working on is making the environment more safer for the operator and for the people in it. So if we're looking at long load material handling, traditionally that's handled with a big forklift to lift the load up in the air, 14 foot, travel over other equipment, product, and maybe tractor trailers. And we view that as if we can handle that load on our platform and travel sidewards safely, more efficiently, then that's where we're going to bring our value. On the safety side with the pedestrian, that was driven completely by a customer request where they were in a retail setting and they were using some walkie products already, but the reason to move to walkie product was to make the area safer, or the store safer for customers without having radar machines there. By doing that, they then had some of their employees getting injuries from using the walkie product. We come up with this safer tiller arm, the patented tiller arm on our walkie range that removes the operator from that area, from the crush zone behind, and then also allows them to work on a smaller aisle and gives them better visibility. So looking at safety, looking at efficiency, looking at storage is where we try to build our products out from there and use those three main points to develop products. But number one is listening to our customers. And if they've got a problem, that's when we can find a solution. We're our owners are engineers. There's a lot of engineers in the business, and listening to problems and finding solutions makes it exciting for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, listening to the voice of the customer, as you said, is such an important thing for everybody in the industry, right? I mean, that's the way that you can kind of innovate and come up with things, solutions for those customers that will help them improve their process and potentially give you another product that other people might be interested in as well. So
exactly, and that's how we view it. We view, solving a situation or a problem for one customer could create a new market for us. And a lot of people don't know that the process or how they're handling the material isn't the best way to do it.
Yeah.
They don't know that there is a safer way or there's a better tool, and usually the Combilift is the tool to handle that material safer or more efficiently.
Yeah.
And really we just have to identify the customers and work with them, and then we can market that to many others in the same industry or similar industries from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And so now you guys offer these very, very narrow aisle applications as well, right? So with the pandemic, we certainly see where companies are looking to maximize the space that they're utilizing in the warehouse. So one way to do that obviously is to move to a narrow aisle setup or a very narrow aisle setup. So have you seen that there's been more demand for those type of applications since people are starting to do that, or what are you seeing in that area?
Yeah, number of drivers to the very narrow aisle concept, and one of them is the lack of new buildings, so you can't move to a bigger building.
Right.
The other one is maximizing the existing cube, but also then moving to online or e-commerce is the need for repackaging and direct to customer deliveries.
Yeah.
So that what used to happen in the store is now happening within that warehouse. So if we can help that customer with our warehouse team to condense the existing rack and store the same number of pallets, and then allow them to have some square footage for the repackaging, the processing for UPS, FedEx, whoever they're shipping with.
Right.
That's where we bring a lot of value. So without a massive change to infrastructure, we can maximize the cube, or else condense the existing storage down into 6-7 foot aisles with our aisle master, and then deliver that storage space where they need to have their conveyors and repackaging processing. And on that, in the this time last year, we launched our Aisle Master OP, which is an order picking articulated unit, where we found that customers in distribution with heavier loads where order picking at height isn't the most convenient, they lower the pallet down, pick into another box or into another tray, and then remount onto the Aisle Master OP and use still the very narrow aisle system, but allow them to order pick heavy objects. So that's been a real growth sector for us in the past year. We launched that, and it's been a huge success in the e-commerce and also in distribution, industrial distribution. So we've been seeing a lot more of that, keeping the operator lower to the ground with a low step in and out, and do the order picking of these heavier objects at ground level.
Yeah, very interesting, and I think you have a lot of good points in there, especially about how the demand is just increased, and it's causing people to get more creative with the space that they have, right? And to be able to utilize that space and utilize some of the forklifts that you guys are providing, and use it in a smarter way, in a safer way too as well, and just more efficient overall. I think it's a great thing that you guys are bringing that to the table for them to be able to utilize. Now, here at MODEX, there's a lot of people, as we talked about, right, coming. So as you're seeing people coming to the booth and looking at what Combilift has to offer, what are some of the reactions, or what are some of the questions that these attendees are asking? What are they interested in?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions about new power sources. There's a lot of lithium suppliers here. With that, we're working on lithium, we're working on hydrogen, we're working on all the new the fuels. The lithium's pretty standard now in the industry. We have a lot of units running with it, but a lot of questions along that. A lot of questions on automation, robotics. Where the market's going and that. But what we find is, in a lot of the industries we work in, you have to standardize and optimize before you automate, and a lot of customers are not at that point yet where the automation or full robotics is really viable for them. There's a few steps to make in the technology ladder before they can get there, and we believe we're one of those parts to get them more efficient, to start getting into racking systems where their inventory is more managed. But a lot of the loads we handle are not very easily standardized and not easy for a robot to pick and to move around. So we're still in that area. But a lot of questions along those lines. In that, where we are also seeing, we've a new product. We don't have it here on display, but we've launched it in the last year as well. Is the Combilift CSS, which is basically a slip sheet for a full container. So we can load a container in about 6 minutes and unload it in 6 minutes also. And there's a lot of interest in that from the long load and also the efficiency of getting containers unloaded and loaded quickly in the right scenarios. So that's getting a lot of interest, but it plays into that automation of a plant conversation as well. But we find there's a lot of people are on the learning stages of this, where they have a lot of technological steps to make within their business and software before they can fully automate their processes. But a lot of conversations.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about the new model you said that does the slip sheet. Now it's automated, you're saying?
So it's what it does is a lot of people are looking for a good way to unload containers very efficiently. So they're looking at a lot of automation systems, a lot of different techniques to do that. With their product, it acts like a slip sheet, where a Hardox sheet goes underneath the load in the container and then unloads everything out into the dock, into the area where you can unload it with a regular forklift or whatever that piece of equipment may be. So getting it out of the container, we have a very good solution that could marry up to another piece of potentially automation or whatever that would be.
Got you. Very interesting. So it's actually going in and it's pulling all this product out at once.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, taking a full container load out in one shot. Yeah.
In one shot. Wow.
One
okay.
shot, yeah.
And then the container is loaded in a just standard way, or
so you can load the container with this system as well. So it can be on both sides, or it can be loaded. Normally, no issue with that either. Yeah.
Wow, that's
so
pretty interesting.
Pretty efficient way to do it. About 6 minutes for a 40-foot container to remove the load.
6 minutes for a 40-foot container. Wow. I run a warehouse and we do slip sheets, and it takes us about 2 hours to unload. So
there you go. So maybe have a look at that. Yeah.
That's very interesting. So I got to see that in action, definitely. So very interesting stuff. And so what else are you showing here at MODEX in the booth?
So on the booth we've got our C10XL, which is a heart of the lane long load handler. We've got an electric CB, we've got the Aisle-Master OP, we've got a Combi CS and a Combi WR, which is our 4-directional walkie product. So the 10XL is our long load workhorse. It's used in steel fabricators, lumber yards all over the country. Very much the traditional handling long loads with our load bearing platform bearing the weight. The CB is our mixed load unit, so it's handling long loads and pallets, so it's a very versatile unit. A lot of the time used in building materials distribution, in aluminum extruders, industries like that, manufacturing also, handling raw material. The Aisle-Master OP, as I touched on, is finding its home alongside the Aisle-Master in those very narrow aisle applications, but it's the stand-on version which is optimized for order picking really, and we're seeing that in a lot of that e-commerce, in the industrial distribution areas are very strong for that, where there's a lot of order picking. And the CS is our very compact counterbalance stacker with the paint and the tiller arm. We can work in very, very narrow aisles with good capacity. And then the WR4 is a multi-directional walkie product for handling long loads, for order picking as well. So a lot of electric models. We've one engine powered, but very much displaying the electrification of all our products and the new Aisle-Master OP.
Okay, all right, very interesting stuff, and we'll definitely check it out. And I definitely want to see the slip sheet one. I mean, that's pretty incredible. 6 minutes, I got to see it.
You'll have to come up and see it. We've plenty of videos. We didn't take one. It's large for the show. But
I can imagine a 40-foot container. Yeah, it's pretty large. Yeah.
So it's about 50 foot long, but we can show you plenty of videos of it there in operation when you come to the booth.
Okay, all right, and then also, a lot of forklift manufacturers and stuff, they're, especially with the supply chain stuff going on, you're seeing long lead times. So, are you experiencing the same issues, or how is it looking for you?
Our challenge is, ramping up production to the demand. We're ramping up as fast as we can. We believe we're not the worst of the manufacturers out here. We're probably somewhere in the region of half the lead times of some of the really extreme cases. And some of the main, commodity products here. We're working very hard to grow our production output. We had a phenomenal year of orders last year. We had our best year of output, but it still wasn't enough. So this year we're growing again. We've got the capacity in Ireland to grow that. Just getting the components to meet the demand is our challenge. So we're working hard on it every day. And the great thing is there's a phenomenal demand for our products. It's growing our production to meet that. So it's a good time for Combilift.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing to have. High demand, right?
Yeah,
definitely. All right, so very good to talk to you, Paul, and learn more about Combilift and what you guys are up to here at MODEX and in general. So if people want to find out more information about Combilift, how can they do that?
Yeah, the best way, go to combilift.com and visit the website. You'll see all our models. Also, reach out through the website. We'll get in contact with one of our regional managers. So we've got a team that covers the US and Canada that are there to help customers. And then we also work through our dealer network. So we've about 100 dealers across the US that are servicing our products. So reach out to them, reach out to combilift.com. We'll get in touch with you. We've got our free warehouse layout service, which is usually the initial way we make contact with people, where we're helping them lay out their warehouse better, show them how to maximize their cube. Request one of those on the website, and we'd be happy to help you out and do a survey and take it from there.
All right, great. And we'll put all that information at thenewwarehouse.com. So, Paul, thank you so much for coming by the booth here at MODEX and talking to us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you. Great chatting with you, Kevin. Thanks for having us.